Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation on plastics in the ocean. My name is Fiorella Miserina. So, as you can see here, this is a very important topic that everyone should be aware of because oceans bring life. So, oceans provide a home to sea animals. They make up around three-fourths of the ocean, the water does. Oceans help regulate the weather we live in. It provides fresh water for humans and sea life and can help regulate Earth's climate. The ocean helps produce oxygen and absorbs carbon. Without the ocean, nothing would be living on Earth. As you can see in these pictures right here, it's a beautiful environment they live in, and because of us, is why each year their environment is slowly dying, as well as the sea animals, because of all the plastics that is occurring. Sea life lives here, and us humans need to respect their environment. They help provide food for people and can help maintain biodiversity. So, plastics accumulate due to being washed up or leaked along the coastlines of the ocean. Some of the plastics are bottles, fishing nets, ropes, shoes, toothbrushes. Um, these plastics provide chemicals and toxins, which are being released in the ocean and to sea life. In this chart, it provides a perfect example on how many plastics humans produce per second. And you can see it's almost about 20,000. Each year, the number keeps increasing. Um, and it's sadly to say that remote islands are um, becoming a huge effect due to the isolation that is occurring there. So basically, these plastics are found inside the bodies of sea life. For example, birds, turtles, whales, dolphins, and even fishes. Um, in this picture, you can see the person walking on the coastline, and it's filled with plastic. And not even plastic; it's also filled with trash as well. Um, it is worse in third world countries because not enough resources are there that us in America have. It is increasing everywhere along coastlines, and we need to control it as soon as possible. You can see to your right that um, it is a bird, and inside you can see there are bottle caps from the plastics. That could have been prevented if we did something about it earlier. So, what you should know is um, in 2014, there were between 15 trillion to 51 trillion pieces of microplastics floating in the ocean. And this is because not enough resources are being brought to developed countries, and people do not notice how serious this situation is. Um, to your left, you see that over 90% of all seabirds have plastics in their stomachs, and you can see that in this picture located over here. Um, so reduce, reuse, recycle. These are the three R's that everyone should be aware about, but not everyone uses them. So basically, um, reduce the amount of plastics being thrown into the ocean. Plastics can be prevented from being thrown onto land or in the oceans if people would follow these three R's. Reuse items to save money and the environment. Reusing materials or items other than plastics can help decrease the amount of plastics in the ocean. Recycle Recycling plastics to save energy and can um, also be another way to save waste from going into the ocean. So it is difficult for some people to use these three R's because they don't um, have the access to these resources in their communities, which basically for low income communities, some of them don't even offer recycling bins in their homes, or they're not taught enough information on how to recycle or where to go to recycle. I know in my community, we provide recycling bins and we also provide areas on where to go to recycle. Um, Everyone should have the access to go to those in order to prevent plastics in the ocean. So, why should we care? Toxins and chemicals become released in the oceans due to the plastics that they require. So, there are small fragments that provide these toxins, and sea life mistake it with food, which is why we need to be careful by having plastics be avoided in the oceans. This can also create a decrease in sea life by suffocation or strangling. If you haven't noticed, it is important to cut the plastic rings that hold cans or bottles because sea animals usually become stuck there. This chart shows to the right that by 2050 we will have our oceans filled with plastics, which is why we should start to care. These plastics usually cause harm to the internal organs of sea life. Each year it is decreasing, and this is not a great idea for sea life to end because of what is occurring. So, the current status right now is, um, as you can see in the picture, it is a tragic seeing the sea animals become either tangled with fish ropes. They either died because of suffocation or the infection from plastics, and also the coastlines are filled with plastics the because of us not recycling. Um, this can could have been prevented if we used the three R's that was back in the slide. So, and right over here, we could have, if only people follow these rules, this could have been prevented right over here. This is a sea lion right here being tangled, and someone's trying to save the sea lion. Sadly, I read in the article that the sea lion did end up passing away because it was there for quite a while, for a few hours actually. Um, so, some solutions that we can provide is becoming educated at schools or even in the communities. The more a person is educated about Earth, the easier it becomes. Volunteering at beach cleanups can be another way to help resolve this plastic situation. Reducing carbon footprint, or for example, instead of drinking from a water bottle, um, it's better to drink and fill the water inside a reusable bottle. So I've noticed a lot of people on campus use reusable bottles, which is a great idea because everyone should start avoiding plastic bottles. Plastic bottles, if you recycle them, that is very good, but some people don't recycle them and they end up being in the trash, and then um, not everyone will recycle it, and that's why it ends up being in the ocean, and that's where fishes and like the sea life just they mistake food with the plastic, and that's why everything bad happens. Um, One more thing that we need to do is advocating. We need to advocate to make sure that schools provide a policy where no plastics can be used or reduce the amount of plastics within the communities. This can be easily this can be an easy solution if only everyone committed to this situation that is occurring. So that is my presentation. If you guys have any questions, you can always email me. And thank you.